Good morning. We are on day 43 through our journey through the Bible. Today's reading is Exodus 34, Exodus 35, 1 through 9, Matthew 27, 15 through 31, Psalms 33, 12 through 22, Proverbs 9, 1 through 6. We have Exodus where the Lord is talking to Moses again, and he has him write down some words, and Moses goes and he presents to the children, the congregation, all the commandments the Lord had gave him. And one of the unique things is as Moses talks to the Lord, he was up there 40 days and 40 nights, and when he comes down, his face is shining. I mean, it's glowing, has a brilliant radiance to it, and the people are kind of freaked out, right? So, he's speaking with God, then he's going back and delivering God's commandments, and they're quick to follow them because he's now shining. So not that any of the other signs that were done, all the signs in Egypt, the splitting of the Red Sea, the food from heaven, the meat for the quails, all these things, the water from the rock, all these things that he's already done for them because God has done them. All right, and yet, hold on one second. What's up, baby? No, you don't need to finish that. Just pour some into a cup, please, and make sure you wash your face. And he's going about, and he's shining after speaking with God, and that's what they're responding to because he's like glowing essentially, all right? But it's an amazing concept if you think about it. Here it is, he's talking to God, and every time he talks to God, his face shines, all right? It's to the point where he speaks to the people and gives the commandments that God gave him, and then he has to cover his face with a veil, all right? Because his face is shining. All right, so that's that. Then we have Matthew, and now Matthew, Jesus, he was already given up. All right, he was already given up by his betrayer and by the Sadducees and Pharisees, and they sent him to Pontius Pilate, and they go there and they have a yearly release that the Roman emperors or governors, they release a person back into the population at the feast. So this guy's been in prison for about a year for sedition and murder, and his name is Barabbas. So after Pilate, he talks with Jesus and realizes that there's no guilt on him, there's no fault on him. Right, he's innocent of the claims that they have, and he realizes that the people set him there because they were jealous. All right, even his own wife, she warns him, Pilate, hey, have nothing to do with this man. All right, for this righteous man, have nothing to do with him. I had a dream, and it was very bad, a nightmare because of him. Leave him alone. So Pilate goes out and ceremoniously washes his hands because he found no fault in him. So he's like, nope, I'm cleaning my hands with this. I'm not getting involved in this. And he sets to release them. But because it's their custom to release one prisoner, he asked the crowd, who do they want to be released? Do they want, Barabbas, who they know was a murderer, or do they want Jesus to be set free? And they request Barabbas. Think about this. They request Barabbas and ask that Jesus be crucified. And he's like, wait, he has not done anything. He has not done anything that deserves to be crucified. So he goes back and he scourges him. They beat him, they whip him, they place a crown of thorns on his head. They cover him in a red rose. I mean, he's scourged. Scourging is a chain with different devices on it that literally rips your skin apart. All right, so they beat him mercilessly, and then they're mocking him because they have him with this crown and they have him with the red robe and a reed that they use as a scepter, and they're mocking him, saying, "Oh, all hail, King of the Jews!" Right. So after they finish doing this, they bring him back out, and they can see that he's badly beaten, bleeding everywhere, wounds ripped open, and he says again, you know what, who do you want to be released? And they say again, Barabbas. So they release the murderer back into the population and take the pure, humble Jesus to be crucified. And just think about that. They chose a wicked, evil man to be set free to live among them than the innocent, righteous man who they know is righteous, who they know is innocent. They knew he was innocent. They knew this, but yet they still wanted his blood. They still wanted him to die, and they'd rather have the murderer than the innocent man. That's deep, man. That's deep, and it had to be done, And Jesus is God. It had to be done for his own covenant because the Lord required a blood payment. That's why he rejected Cain's offering of fruit and berries over Abel's offering, which was blood, because he told them, do not eat of the tree, do not eat of the fruit of the tree, and they did anyway. And now he has to have a blood atonement for the reconciliation. Now, the blood atonement, the sacrificial animals, was only a covering. It never actually removed the sin. All right, and that's what Jesus here. But God is spirit, and the spirit cannot bleed. All right, so he had to take flesh in order to fulfill his requirement, and that's what Jesus did, and that's what the whole purpose of this was. And by his stripes we are healed. All right, by his stripes we are healed. By his blood we are saved, and this is what this was done for. And he took on the sin of the world, past, present, and future. And none of us deserve that, nor earned it. But by believing, confessing with your mouth and believing in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior, that died on that cross and was raised and now sits at the right hand of the throne of God, you shall be saved too. Just like that. Not a gift that you earned nor deserved. It's a gift, lest anyone should boast. Anyway, I love you all. Thanks for reading. Pay attention. You know what? As always, go with God, stay with God.